Hey everyone, Jacob here from That Time We Woke Up in a Podcast and Had to Explain Manga, our heated adventures over analyzing manga we find interesting, otherwise known as the Over Manga Cast. Say, do you like cute, wholesome family comedy manga? Because this time we read Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo, where we read the bitterly and heartbreakingly realistic depiction of how war tears people apart and changes the paths of their lives irreparably arc. Wait. Well, it started off cute and wholesome. We read chapters 90-102. Grab some tissues and enjoy the show. I mean, they did warn us with the premise and all, but twist the knife, why don't ya?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and usually at the top of the show, we talk about our familiarity with what we've read, but this is one of our longest running returns. This is something that we've done 90 bloody chapters of. If you don't know what we know by this point, then you're clearly new. Welcome. I hope you like the show. Support us on all of the social medias. Right, Jake?
And we got a great backlog for you.
Man, crazy to me that someone would jump in at our chapter 90 through 102 discussion of Spy Family, but hey...
The 211th episode of the Over Manga Cast.
Well, hold on. You don't need to watch the episodes in sequential order.
True. But yeah, we're reading more Spy Family this week. And it is a shame that Jay could not make it. She had to go deep undercover, and I should probably stop talking about it now. Otherwise, that little red dot on my forehead is going to explode.
That's how it works.
Indeed. But do we remember where we last left off in Spy Family? Because I realized upon getting into this reading that I had gone further ahead of our last completion point and forgotten about it, and then just had deja vu for 6 chapters.
Well, about that, I have a funny story.
What's your funny story, Jake?
I don't even remember if I mentioned this in our last Spy Family episode. I may have, but I also read ahead, but for a really stupid reason. When we were reading going to read the previous section for the Over Manga Cast, I happened to be on the wrong tab of our Google spreadsheet on the episodes. And I saw our future list of options for episodes. And I actually started reading last time at chapter 90, and I actually got pretty deep into our current reading before I realized they were talking about a bus jacking that never happened.
Right!
At which point I went back and read the stuff I was supposed to. So I also remember this.
It's a good thing we're all in a habit of sharing particularly entertaining panels as screenshots in Discord.
Just showing up to the recording, having done none of the reading and being very confused. It's like, wow, they kept mentioning something that happened off screen. Lazy writing.
And this is why we'll never do my favorite April Fool's Day episode idea.
Oh. But yeah, we start off after a bit of a lull. We're headed to the park where Anya is just doing her normal shenanigans.
Anya's sliding on the slide, experiencing the the incredibly bad idea of a shiny metal slide in direct blast to the sunlight. She seems unperturbed. Yours annoyed that her clothes got singed. But some of the looky-loo rubbernecks in the park are making fun of an old guy, which is how we are introduced to a new character. One Sigmund Offen. Get it? Our protagonists are the Forgers, but his last name is Offen, like authentic. Okay.
Oh, yeah. The way that this first chapter of our reading is presented, it's not set up like this is going to be a recurring character. It's just an old guy in the park who he's lost. He wants to go home, but he moved recently, and in his old age, where his new house is has slipped his mind.
So
the only hint you'd have is that his character design is very refined for a one-time character. Like, he's
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
some details.
He's got the receding hairline with the fuzzy Einstein hair. He's got the massive facial hair that covers his lips. He's got the old man tweed jacket. Like, there's way too much detail in this for him to be a one-off. And then when he's lamenting about how he lost his wife and has been left all alone, and she's there in the clouds, it's like, that's way too much detail on that old lady's face for this to be a joke.
Well, see, the funny thing is, Spy Family has had characters this detailed to actually be well, not one-offs, but characters that are like they're
Tertiary.
yeah,
Yeah.
like half a step below recurring, because it's like Scruffy is a recurring character. He's like part of the main cast, but like characters that like get referenced in the background and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some fun shenanigans of trying to get this guy home.
Mhm.
And some like horror of Anya reading his mind and realizing he's got like not severe dementia, but it's definitely on, like, coming on. It's
Yeah.
like his internal thoughts even have like little gaps in them. It's like, oh no. Um,
Yeah, poor little Anya. She's she's not old enough to recognize the horror, but she's like, something's wrong with you, Grandpa.
I love yours realization halfway through of just like, well, my parents are dead, and Lloyd never speaks about his parents. So Anya doesn't have a chance to have any grandparents around. And I'm like, that's really nice that Yor would have like introduced Anya to her parents.
Yeah,
If it's cute, Yor would do it.
it's like, sure, they're not grandparents, but if there are some kind old folks around here, then it's always good to check in on the elderly. Why not also use that as enrichment for my daughter?
Meanwhile, Anya's just trying to get into the will.
Yeah. We're gonna be jillionaires. We will accept nothing.
He mentions in his internal monologue at one point, like, "Oh, how can I repay them?" And he thinks about writing them into the will, and Anya latches on to that with a vice grip for the rest of our reading. Oh, but yeah, there's some fun, silly vignettes of going around to different places. The one that stands out to me is they end up in a mob boss like lobby with a big sign that says 1 kill a day.
Thankfully, Yor is locked in and is able to snatch up both child and old man and run for all three of their lives.
Oh,
And
but anyway, they end up following Bond home to the old man's home because I think it's implied Bond had a vision, but also Bond could have just ran home because coincidentally, it turns out this old couple are the forger's new neighbors.
yep, Bond could have had a vision. He could have been following the old man's scent. He could have just been going home because he's a dog and he wants to go home.
Well, the sort of funny thing is, it kind of presents it as like a triple layered joke because you have Anya thinking that she's all smart detective because she recognizes it's like a candy raffle ticket thing from something local. So she's like, I figured it out, and it seems like she's just little kid candy brain. And then Bond then either via vision or via smell takes them back home. And
He's a
then
very
it's like
powerful dog.
so it's like obviously both of them like both swung and a miss, but it turns out they're actually right.
And that's the thing that I love so much about Spy Family in general, but Anya in particular. She will swing and miss every time and yet still somehow bat 1,000. And it's so funny.
Well, honestly, the thing I really like about Anya is she will swing and miss most of the time. It'll always end up working out for her, but a lot of my favorite Anya moments are the moments where she does actually lock in and figure it out.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
We do have a good one of those coming up. But first, we need to we need to remember that despite the fact that this is a comfy, cheery slice of life uh rom-com manga, this is post World War II Berlin, and there's so much trauma happening because it's time for the Veterans Fair, and the ladies from the courthouse where Anya work, or not Anya, Anya goes to
Were you?
school, where Yor
Uh-huh.
works.
Yep.
They're helping with organizing the whole thing, and poor Millie, she's not doing great. She's having a bunch of flashbacks, particularly when the old shrews in the women's society show up and start berating all the younglings.
Yeah, I remember very distinctly both of the times I read this for the podcast. I had the exact same reaction to it, and I was expecting to come in with boys. Spy Family is normally more nuanced than this because, like, obviously the old shrews are like really like blatantly overt villains, and it almost feels like, honestly, not so much like in general, but this deep into the series, it almost feels like beneath Spy Family to have such a like boringly simple not even antagonist, but full on villain in the like catty, social ladies.
It it comes off very moral play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when Mrs. Desmond pops in, to like
Yeah.
it's like obviously she's good, like the catty the catty ladies are gonna think that she'll be on their side, and she's actually not, and she finishes putting them in their place, blah blah, like ultra Saturday morning morality play nonsense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's the Tumblr post and then everybody clapped.
Oh my god, yes, that's exactly what happens, actually.
Mhm. You think Yor is going to be the force of divine justice that comes in to cause that, but no, it's Mrs. Desmond.
Yeah, and like even like especially the fact that it's Mrs. Desmond is like the one that like that's the point where it gets like full on cheesy, you know?
Especially
Um
because, like, Millie's problem, she explicitly says, like, the Desmond family is the one who started this war, and it's like, and I'm like,
You're
"You're
why
not
my
in active."
father is dead.
It's like, "You're not in active war right now, but, like, we know the society they're in." That doesn't seem smart to say at all. Like,
Mhm.
and for
Yell
Miss Desmond just to go, "Oh, yes, that's fine. I forgive you." Also,
Yelling at like the wife of the prime minister.
Former
What
technically, but
former
basically.
technically. Yelling at the wife of the former prime minister going, "You're the reason my father is dead," is a choice, Millie. Like
Yeah.
I but like that's kind of the thing. Like for as cheesy as it is, like yeah, Millie never processed her emotions after her father died, so she's lashing out at inopportune moments.
And I mean, like the kind of bigger thing here is, and why I said I had the exact same reaction to this chapter twice, because it had been long enough that I had forgotten exactly how this plays out when I reread it. Millie doesn't really change her opinion.
mhm.
Mhm.
And I kind of like that because there is a very genuine level of she's not wrong. Even when somebody corrects her and it's like, actually, it was the prime minister before the Desmonds. They were just in charge for most of the war after it had already started. Like, even after that, she's still like, yeah, but they still could have done literally anything and they didn't. Like, and it's like she doesn't like dig her heels in like obstinance, but she comes to a greater understanding of like who to be angry at to what degree and why. And it ends up being a lot more subtle and nuanced by the end of it. And it's like I had the exact same reaction both times. Like, this feels too cheesy. This feels almost annoyingly cheesy, and then like it like using that like squirming of the cheesiness to end up building to a more interesting conclusion.
I think
Absolutely.
I think I wouldn't mind how cheesy and frankly a little preachy it is if we didn't have better examples in our own reading like this time of like how to do this. And also, what really put the final nail in the coffin was when I got to the end of this volume and the side stories has Twilight's point of view from this event. And I'm like, And just cut out like a bunch of the dialogue and put Twilight's story in here. Like,
But yeah, that not one of my favorite chapters, but I did both of the times I read it, I had this exact same reaction of not liking it, thinking I was going to come on the podcast and complain about it as the rare miss from Spy Family, and then the like, the whammy at the end, bringing it back.
But for all that emotional intensity and hit or miss moral understanding, it's time for the finals. Term one is over, so now we're gonna see how the kiddos do.
And this is where we because they're literally the Forgers' neighbors, we knew that the old couple was going to come back, but this is where we like really start to establish that going to be like staple characters.
Yeah, this is how we know that the offense are going to show up more, because Anya realizes that I can't just mind read my way through the finals. I need to actually get good. Hey, Papa, I sneezed a really huge booger. And Lloyd's like, oh no, her unmedicated ADHD is going to be the death of me and possibly the entire world.
I love the number of callbacks to other exams Anya's had and the different types of cheating they tried for those. This is like, at this point, Anya's very aware. My psychic powers don't work the way that would be effective for cheating. I like.
Well, I mean, it's something that I mention in every Spy Family episode. Anya's psychic powers would only work for cheating if she had enough of an understanding that she could know who to cheat from. She needs to have some level of knowledge and personal skill. And if she does that, she becomes a literal superhero.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and that's so cool.
Because the problem here, though, is she even says, like, I know the people I'm trying to cheat off of. The problem is the kids who are smart and I want the answers from finish the questions before I can even get it down. Like, they've moved on to the next. They've stopped thinking about it. So it's a blink and you miss it kind of thing. And she...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Anya is still Babby. She is not at superhero tier yet.
So whatever are we going to do to get her to pass these finals? Well, it just so happens that the Authens, our convenient new neighbors, have invited us over for cookies, and Sigmund is a former professor. He used to teach college level courses, and he has a true and genuine love for learning and the eureka moment and wanting to make learning accessible to all people. He's really the platonic ideal of a teacher.
Mm.
And so he's like, oh, Anya, you like these Bondman comic books, right? No, I prefer the cartoon. Oh, but what if we used the comic book in order to translate things into Latin? Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe. Do I get cookies? Yes.
Should we study for any of the other exams?
I
No.
mean,
we're gonna take this one step at a time.
Latin is the only subject she's good at. Just hard focus on that one.
Oh, I like Twilight mentioning I tried doing this before, and Anya going like, yeah, but you were bad at it.
Yeah, Lloyd thinking that and Anya hearing it in his brain is great. Sigmund loves yelling Eureka, which, of course, Anya hears as eucalyptus. You mean like those bears in Australia eat? So when Becky asks her if she's doing well at the test prep, she says, I have koala power.
Oh
man.
There is also a really honestly, this whole page is absolutely amazing, but I like the one the moment where Sigmund asks like what Anya wants, and the panel of her saying I want world peace. Honestly,
it's so cute. It's so heartwarming.
Like the thing with like when it comes to Spy Family, like the best moments are, and it's like this is almost like simultaneously me praising the hell out of a deserved thing and also the reason why I don't read it as much as I'd like. The moments where it's at its best is where it like has these moments of like genuine and just completely like unalloyed honesty. you know, like a character just speaking the
Mhm.
truth. And it's like it works because it's a story about deception.
Mhm.
But like it also means that there are certain things that need to be said at some point, and that when that happens, that's kind of when the series ends. So there's a lot of the same joke stringing that together,
Mhm.
which like it's always funny, but like it kind of means that reading it for the podcast is kind of the perfect pace for me because I get a big chunk of it injected directly into my veins and then I put it down for a while so it doesn't end up getting stale on me. I could not read this weekly. I would grow to dislike it.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the old guy when he like the earnesty of I want world peace, and he just like hugs her and like
It's so
It's so
sweet.
you are the nation's greatest treasure. I'll teach you every single day if it takes. And then Anya goes on a Ryu training montage with
She
going over to
walk
grandpa's house to read every day.
she walks into that final exam like she's Solid Snake. It's so good.
she for
She
some
draw
reason does like the like teapot balance martial arts training.
Mhm. She draws a 5 o'clock shadow on her face because she wants to look like she's been training in the mountains. And then
Miss
when they
Forger,
cut,
please explain your facial hair.
and then they couldn't get it off because she drew it on in permanent marker, so she has to show up to school with it.
She's
Oh,
so earnest when she says it. I drew it in permanent marker. It wouldn't wash off.
oh man.
Like, it's the most obvious thing in the world, Mr. Henderson. Come on, why don't you get it?
I will say the other thing I really like about Sigmund is he's kind of a weird old guy. Like in the examples of Bondman he's giving to Anya, he's just like, "Oh well, we're gonna count how many ladies Bondman got with, and oh, you see how you can conjugate those verbs? Ooh, Bondman sure likes to conjugate with the ladies, if you know what I want." It's like, oh my. And this is the man who was introduced to us with the second he was reunited with his wife, started
Yeah,
making
I
out
was
with
gonna
her
say.
so ferociously that
Mhm.
Lloyd had to be like, maybe we should go inside. Like
Yeah.
that man loves his wife.
He really does. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, maybe in their house would have been preferable than in like the shared hallway. But
No shame. Shared hallway. That was on the steps in the street.
oh, you're right.
Man loves his wife. What can I say?
We do have a really cute short chapter um, about how Anya, because like back to before Anya enrolled in Eden Academy, and it's like she saw a name tag for a child's bedroom. It's like, oh man, I want one of those. And like, oh, we'll help you make one. And they carves it, and it's Anya, but with an I. And there's a whole thing of Lloyd going like, "Oh, that's very good, but Anya spelled with a Y." And there's 3 or 4 panels of Anya just like slow realization of like, "Oh, okay." It's like, "Wait, is her name not Anya?
Oh,
Is it Anya?"
shit. Anya. Yeah, yeah. That's the problem with this spy business and having a child from a secret laboratory.
Well, and honestly, that's one of the things that I. It's like it's important to remind yourself of when it comes to Anya as a character. She said that she was 7. Maybe she is. A lot of times she acts more like she's 4 or 5, and that's
Mhm.
developmentally a lot. You know, and it's like there are a lot of cases where it's like Anya, it's like if she would just lock in, you know, but it's like she's a baby, you know, like
Mhm.
the fact that she does as well as she does already is, you know, like it's not like Anya doing badly on the tests. It's not that she's stupid. It's that she spent her entire life up to this point either in a laboratory or in a orphanage, and she's probably like 2 or 3 or more years younger than the rest of the kids.
Mhm.
The fact that she's even here at all, even with the mind reading, is impressive.
And
Oh.
speaking of where she is and how impressive it is, the test scores are released, and Anya had a hell of a jump.
She like doubled in what was it?
She was
What was it?
she was
Math?
at 213th overall, and
Oh,
went
right,
to
that was the
100.
overall
Yeah,
rankings.
and went to 168th overall, which still isn't spectacular, but that shows an incredible amount of growth. And
Mm-hmm.
then she was number 2 in the classical language test. So that means it's still a star. Let's go!
Woo!
Hooray! The era of Anya. Yippee! Woohoo! How did she do in everything else? She flunked math so hard she gets another Ch.90 bolt.
You know what? We'll take it.
I love the repeat of her shocked face panel. Just like, you got a Stella Star. Ah, you got a Ch.90 bolt. Ah!
I love how she and Lloyd have the same
Basically
shocked
the same.
eyes.
Yeah, they have basically the same expression. Like, it's one of those ones where it's like they're around each other so much that like Anya is like taking on Lloyd's mannerisms or something, and it's like they are father and daughter. It's so cute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, theoretically at this point, he's been her father for a fifth of her life. Like,
Yeah.
roughly. Like, give or take, depending on how old Anya actually is. Oh. Although, I'm gonna say, looking at the size of that, like, Tanatris bolt assignments, they give it out for each category, and you can only get 6 in your entire school career, right? Like, something's not adding up here. They're flunking a lot of people.
Yeah, well, then they do say that it's supposed to be super cutthroat, so
Fair.
I guess that's the idea. The other thing that's worth noting is our characters are getting stars and bolts faster than they should because they're being involved in shenanigans.
Mhm.
So
That makes sense.
the other thing that's worth noting is that Anya only got 1 Ch.90 bolt for poor academic performance. So that means that she at least was above the cutoff point for every other subject.
Yes.
Which is reflected in her overall ranking basically doubling.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, 2 stars towards Imperial Scholar, 2 bolts towards expulsion. Oh fuck. and this is why Twilight needs heart medication.
I also like that the only reason she failed math so hard was because she tried so hard in classical language, which was the test right before. And she's like, after that, I kind of just dozed through the math test. It's like, Anya.
Anya, please.
Well, that's such a perfect Anya moment because it is so in character for her to do that. But also it implies that had she not dozed off, she might have actually been above the Ch.90 bolt threshold for that subject too.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna call it a win. Good
Oh.
job, Anya.
And then we get the award ceremony, which is very nice, up until Demetrius shows up, and holy shit, this guy.
I see. The next boss has arrived.
Demetrius Desmond, who got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like half a dozen Stella Stars in academic excellence. He already has an Imperial Scholar's cloak and the blank eyes of a homunculus.
Well, he's got the face of his father because we've met
met Donovan.
Yeah, Donovan is his name. We've met Donovan, so
And like the weirdest thing about this guy is he seems to have no internal thoughts at all unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, like Anya goes to read his mind and it's just blank until he receives external stimulus. And then if it's not an academic subject, the external stimulus elicits, I don't understand people. I don't understand my little brother. I don't understand why they're talking to me. I want them all to go away.
Thinking is a waste of time, and then silence. Like,
you,
the fuck?
You know what, buddy? That is a mood, and honestly, same.
I don't think that's the person you want to be saying same to, Jake.
No.
I identify with them. I don't know what to tell you.
This is what the internet thinks you are when you say you don't have an internal monologue.
Oh my god,
It's
you're
not
right.
wrong.
It's like, what do you see when somebody says picture an apple and it's like, I can't. It's like, oh, well, you're a sociopathic child of a Nazi.
Oh. Hey. I'm pretty sure Donovan's supposed to be a communist.
I was gonna say I think it's communist, but
They are East Berlin, aren't they?
yep.
No, wait. It was West Berlin that was
The
part of this
timeline
one.
does not make sense. Please do not try to parse it. We'll be here all night.
Also, Sam, I don't know if I this is spoilers. Because Germany was split in half, neither side were Nazis anymore. That was kind of the point.
You know what you're right. We're moving on. I accept the L. We're going to the mountains.
We're gonna have our case closed episode. Boy, you know how I said I read ahead a bunch of chapters?
Mhm.
I was so looking forward to talking about this episode in our last, or about this chapter in our last episode. I was so jazzed that we were gonna get to talk about this, and I had so much stuff. And guess what? I forgot entirely by now. My entire fucking spiel on this chapter.
I love how it starts with with a whole bunch of excuses for cute scenes of the family skiing.
Which, I mean,
And,
what more do you need?
and that's what I thought I was reading. And then it cuts to them getting snowed in. And then it was literally the scene where they go around and they introduce, oh yeah, we're a college ski club that's been snowed in for the night. And I'm just reading this going like, huh, that is the exact plot of a case closed mystery.
Remember that episode from the anime?
Yeah.
And while you were saying that, I was saying, that sure is interesting. College student Max Slacker, a drama queen, need a job soon, and short on credits.
Need a job soon is such a good name for a
I didn't
college
even
student.
realize that.
Listen, if these were the names that Friday the 13th was running with for the kids at Camp Crystal Lake, it still would have been a hit, but it would have been way campier.
I also
yes.
like spouse a host man for the owner's wife.
Roger and spouse a host man.
Porter Partheimer.
Hack screwdriver.
Guy loves to ski, avid skier, age 31.
We're introducing all of the suspects.
So also, by the time they got to the drunk tabloid writer and the like kind of weird nameless skier, that was when I'm like, this is 100% a case closed mystery. Like,
yep.
They mention a legend of a serial killer in the region, possibly supernatural serial killer in the region.
And then the whole thing about like, hey, we have one room available, and Lloyd's just hey, would you be okay with rooming with me? And she's like, I think I can manage that. And then they cut to the room, and I was expecting it to be only one bed, but no, it's nice double beds and a couch. And Lloyd's just like, I will sleep on the couch as a fine gentleman. Except Yor has the exact same reaction to there's only one bed of like, oh no, sleeping in the same room as Lloyd. Oh, and then if you didn't think this was a case closed mystery, we cut to Hanzawa, the culprit.
We cut to the case closed mannequin that they used to hide the identity of the killer.
Yeah, Hanzawa. The dude who unfortunately just happens to look like that guy.
Even the way the blood is drawn makes it look like case closed, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, this is literally the plot
with an icicle.
Yeah, this is literally the plot of a case closed mystery. This is the thing that happens. The frozen murder implement is a different mystery, but still very case closed.
Well, because I think in the case closed story that they're referencing, it was actually an icicle that melted, and part of the mystery was there was a stab wound but no murder weapon.
Mm-hmm. That one also gets more convoluted because then it turns out it was a suicide, but that neither here nor there.
Well, no, that was I think there was two ones because I think it was actually an icicle stab somebody in the
You're
frozen
right, you're right.
cabin.
What I'm thinking of is the guy who made a knife
Who-
out of ice and then jumped off a table to stab
Yeah, yeah,
himself in the
yeah,
which
because that was like
convoluted way
case
to kill
two.
yourself. That good thing it worked the first try with no mistake.
That was case two.
Um,
Have we done a case closed episode? We need to do a case closed episode.
Yeah.
We've
I
not done
was
a
ju-
case closed episode, which is why I'm so lost.
Yep. Meanwhile, I've been on One Podcast Prevails, I think 5 times now. Go listen to that. The episode I'm on should be out by the time this is out.
Yes, go to One Podcast Prevails and tell them to promote the Over Manga Cast more. Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Woo!
Jolly cooperation.
And like, boy, they really lean into this being a case closed episode because you have Yor becoming a suspect because she was like the only one who was supposedly alone at the time. But the really funny thing is, how can you have a mystery like this when you have a mind reader like Anya? The answer is you can't. This is a bit. Anya literally just reads the mind of the actual. The other thing is because it's Spy Family, the victim isn't actually killed. They were just almost killed.
The other thing that is very Detective Conan that gets sidestepped is the phone lines are cut so that no one can get through to the outside, but because Lloyd's there, he immediately repairs it. And they call the police, and the police will be there in the next morning.
Yep.
And literally, the actual solving of the case is Anya just saying to Lloyd, "Hey, Papa, I am going to be standing in the location." Like, she doesn't say in the location of the next murder, but she reads the mind of when the next thing is going to happen. And actually, Bond also psychically sees what would happen if Anya doesn't do something. And she's like, "Papa, I'm going to stand in the location of the next murder." Anya, don't do that. "I am going to do this thing." And then it just flashes forward to Lloyd already catching the guy.
Yep.
It's great. It's so peak.
I love that the alibi for the murderer is, "These college kids always come to my lodge and they're so loud when they stay here." Like, buddy, just stop renting to them. Like,
No, we need to Detective Conan kill them. It's literally just one chapter. I know part of my spiel when we were originally talking about this is I would have liked for them to actually have like a full Detective Conan case. If they could work around Anya reading the minds of everybody and immediately figuring out who it is, if they could do something to work around that, like give her a cold or something so that she's not like at 100% and is only getting flashes or something.
mm-hmm.
It would be so much fun to have an actual mystery with these characters, especially because it's like you have a character like Yor who's like so physically capable. Like not only does that make her a great red herring for all the other characters to think it's her, but then also she'd be able to go to places that other people couldn't and find clues. And then obviously Lloyd being a spy, it's spy and detective aren't that far apart from each other, so.
Jacob, I like how your ideal scenario is also a Detective Conan case.
Yes,
it's like
Detective Conan. I don't know what to tell you.
Conan got a fever and is only having brief flashes of being able to think. Or anything Kaito Kid's in, and suddenly we can have cat burglar shenanigans to solve mysteries.
Listen, I love these characters and I love Detective Conan, and I have no shame in saying I want to see those two things do the fusion dance.
I'm just saying, they did a case closed Lupin the Third crossover movie.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, so they could do a case I'm sorry, I think they did two. Actually, now that I said that out loud, but they could do a Spy Family
and Spy Family and Case Closed. Honestly, go whole hog with it. We already have established then that Case Closed and Lupin the Third are in the same universe. Give me all three of them. Like, where's the weak link? These are all three peak series.
Yeah. I was going to say there's some problems with the fact that Spy Family takes place in probably roughly around like 1950s, if not a little earlier. But then I remembered Lupin the Third canonically has magic. So like I don't know.
Indeed. But before we start the next arc, I think this is a good spot to take a break.
So when we come back, we'll be doing the dance. So make sure all of you have dates. That's going to be required. You cannot listen to the episode unless you have a date.
Indeed.
Wait, do we need a date to also be on the episode?
No, we're chaperones.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
And welcome back to the show, folks. Where last we left our heroes, the term had ended. Anya had triumph. Yes, no, maybe so?
We're going to call it a win. I'm going to call it a win.
We take those. And now the end of term gala is coming up. So everyone is looking for dates.
And Becky immediately mentions wanting to take Lloyd, and Mr. Henderson tells her that only a couple of volunteer chaperones will be there.
But she's like, hey, Anya, who are you taking? Who am I taking? How about you, Scion boy? Want to dance with me at the party? No! Baka!
She's so shockingly smooth with it, too.
She's like, hey, it's all part of the plan. Let's go. We're going to dance. But it does not work.
He soon's away.
Mm.
The other kind of funny and interesting thing is that Damien doesn't want to go with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I joke about his older brother being relatable, but, like, I think I kind of get Damien. He doesn't really like these kinds of social gatherings just generally. He's such a guarded and reserved person. It's hard for him to make, like, real connections. And the fact that he's a little kid, you know, it's like, how many people has he really formed, like, genuine lifelong bonds with? Could be a lot of the people that he knows already, or it could be nobody.
Mhm.
And so, introvert that he is, he doesn't want to participate.
I like the bonus chapter addressing the fact that because this is Eden Prep, the most elegant of affairs, they would obviously never have a party that wasn't a black tie affair. But like the mangaka is in there of the group of people when Damien's deciding his outfit. It's just like, you should go with the white one, even though the black is more elegant and more grown up and more appropriate for the event you're attending. Because if everyone is wearing black suits, it really looks bad in a manga. You get to see no details.
You need to be easier to draw.
Well, a tuxedo is easier to draw, but
you need to be more. You need to be easier to read, I guess.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. We do have, this gala is indeed putting on the Ritz. All the students are in their fanciest first grade fancy outfits, which is way fancier than any fancy first grade outfit I ever had.
Oh yeah, these outfits are insane. Because they cost more than Anya's, and Anya's bought hers off the rack, and it was $10,000.
Uh-huh.
Which
and she still do got that shit on. Like
she looks so good.
She does. There's a part of my brain that can't process buying a $10,000 article of clothing for a 6-year-old, because a 6-year-old is not going to fit something ever again, basically, from the event you buy it for.
Yep.
Oh. Well, and I mean, like, that is kind of the point, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
here's all this, like, opulence and frankly waste, and it's kind of illustrating how messed up the situation is. You know, it's like, from the context of these kids, this is just normal. This is what they've always grown up with. But, like, this whole situation, the center cannot hold.
mm-hmm. I do like that Anya's dress is like an elegant ball gown version of yours assassination outfit.
In the
Yeah,
bonus
it's really
chapter,
cute.
she mentions explicitly she wanted that one because it looked like mommy's killing outfit.
Well, because they need to be dressed to kill, because they're going to murder Scion Boy.
We're gonna knock him dead. Not literally, Anya. Well, it's great. Okay, so Becky is, as always, amazing. She is the one who's using terms like "knock him dead" and
Mhm.
it'll be killers. Like she uses those turns of phrase, and then she notices Anya latch onto it, and she immediately switches over to like noting metaphorically, we're gonna kill him. We're not literally gonna kill him because she knows Anya well enough to know that she's gonna take it literally. Oh.
Oh, but yeah, they end up playing an icebreaker game because everyone's being weirdos.
Because
Yeah.
they're little kids at a party.
Yep.
Honestly, it looked like
I
they were doing fine up to that point. Everybody was mingling.
I do love so much how it's like the manga just remembers that they're little kids. And it's like, sure, we've got them all in these big fancy outfits. We've got them in this fancy ballroom. We've got them grapefruit juice in champagne flutes.
That's a really good panel.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? Glass of grapefruit juice. Wow, that's sour. You're so grown up and mature.
But we can't forget that they are, in fact, Rugrats, and therefore we need to have a Rugrats comedy segment.
Yeah, it's a bunch of games and contests and whatnot, and the winner gets to use the Imperial Scholar Lounge.
Unfortunately, Cecil Hall does not win. Damien tries really hard to carry, though. He tries so hard.
Meanwhile, Twilight has disguised himself as a waiter.
He's a mild-mannered butler.
Oh, he's gonna do his best to facilitate Plan B, even if many a time he loses all hope.
I love the crowd of main character level side character boys who are coming up to Becky Blackbell. It's just like, excuse me, would you like to dance with me? And she's like, oh my, all these boys fighting over me. Huh. That waiter was really handsome. I wonder what that's about.
Sorry, boys. I'm not interested in children. We're the same age. Also, Anya trying to set her homegirl up, being like, with my mind reading powers, I know that's Papa. Anya, Becky, you should go dance with him.
That's right.
I also love Conehead wanting to dance with Anya.
Oh, he's amazing because he's the person who scored higher than her in classical language test. Oh, you know what? We skipped over the weird thing Twilight says at the end of that chapter, where he's just like, Anya, in your previous life, did you ever have to use classical language a lot? No, I'm not going to talk about my backstory. It's just they dropped two Anya backstory bits one after the other, and I'm like, Spy Family,
Yep.
you don't really care about that. Come on, let's go back to the story.
No, I want the backstory stuff. Please let anything happen.
Now, we had 100 chapters of this. I'm expecting about as much backstory as Detective Conan has.
I know. I want it to be different. I know you're right. That doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
Oh, but yeah. So Arnold Crowley is Conehead's name, and he asks to dance with Anya. And now that she might dance with someone else, Scion's just like, oh no, don't, you can't. Only I get to reject her. And then he gets called out. I was like, well, why do you care? You explicitly said you don't want to dance with her, so I'm gonna dance with her.
I don't want to dance with anybody.
And I don't want you to dance with Anya.
I don't want you to dance with Anya. I don't want to dance with anybody. Everybody leave me alone.
I want me and Anya to both not dance with anybody. What?
But then a whole bunch of girls are coming for Damien. So naturally, his boys gotta step in.
Oh.
I really love, like, this is honestly the most competent these two have been, and I really appreciate that because basically what they do is they
Buckteeth and Conehead come in, just like, we got you, boss man. Time for another game show.
and like Damien doesn't realize this is what they're doing, and it's especially funny because he never really figures it out because they don't succeed in this. But they're trying to create an unwinnable game to get everyone to leave him alone.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't work out that way, but it's like that's honestly like it's like I mentioned, like how many people, has he formed a really truly deep bond with? You never like for a little kid, what seems like the deepest of bonds could be somebody that you never see again after you go up one grade, or they could be somebody that is like closer than blood for the rest of the life. And these two genuinely get Damien. They genuinely understand he's like not funny, haha, uncomfortable with all the attention. So they take the attention onto themselves in a way that gasses their best friend and also
they
gets him what
their boy up.
So like that's such a good moment for them. And honestly, I'm kind of glad that the manga doesn't like point out directly that that's what they're doing, especially because they fail. Because it's like that's one of those moments where you kind of have to like be paying attention to realize that they're trying to make it impossible on purpose.
But yeah, they have an elegance competition is what happens. And I'm gonna say it, really only the first round is anything about being elegant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
because they're a bunch of 6-year-olds coming up with Mario Party games.
Well, and on top of that, the first one is very clearly supposed to be something that gets every single contestant to fail. Incidentally, Anya cheats, but she's not the only one who passes either.
I also love how she cheats because Lloyd walks up and is just like, oh, a bit of dust on your jacket or on your sleeve, young miss. And he uses that small motion to wire up Anya to a frickin' puppet strings so that he can help her achieve balance and clap in rhythm. And Anya's just like, I'm so cool and strong. I'm going to do all these poses and do all this clapping. And look at how cool I am. And Twilight is just like, you little brat, stop it.
Well, the really funny thing is Anya, and not even mind reading, Anya just figures it out right away. Like she notices the line, like the little fishing line being used, like almost immediately. Lloyd walks away and he's like, she probably doesn't even realize why she's able to do this because the line is so thin. Not realizing that she does in fact know. Because I mean, like, why from Lloyd's perspective, a waiter cheating for her wouldn't make any sense. Like, he doesn't know that she knows that he's the waiter,
Yeah.
Like, honestly, he doesn't even know that she knows her and Damien being friends is part of a plan. Like, from Lloyd's perspective, he doesn't, like, he thinks that Anya is just trying to be friends with Scion Boy for completely altruistic purposes, and the fact that she's so gung-ho about it is just a happy coincidence. Meanwhile, Anya did in fact notice the fishing line, and not only notice the fishing line, but because she knew she couldn't fail because of the fishing line, not realizing the amount of strength it takes to hold those lines, starts showboating, and Lloyd is just standing there dying, unable to make any facial expressions without giving it away like, you little brat!
She's putting her entire weight on strings that are attached to her, and each string is tied to one of his fingers. So that's like a full child's weight on each finger is like demolished.
Yeah. It is brutal.
Oh.
Anyway. Losing all function in my left hand is a small price to pay for world peace.
Anyway, the next competition is the most elegant of competitions, an obstacle course that Anya does well in by immediately kicking off her high heels and tearing her dress up as she face plants her way through.
They never said anything about hitting the obstacles being a disqualifier, which is really
true.
on them as game makers.
I love how canonically all of this is happening in the 10 minutes before the dance begins.
Yeah, like how did they set this up in time?
They had the staff set it up.
set it up in time. That doesn't answer the question.
Are you
There's
saying
there's always enough Eden faculty staff at any one time to cater to the whims of the students to get the shenanigans done.
Then the final round is it's a trivia quiz. And again, it's super obvious that they are trying to make trivia questions that are actually impossible.
Mm,
Like, what did Damien have for breakfast this morning? How would any of them know that?
No, it's
Damien
not even
didn't
it's not even
know
what he
that.
had. It's not even what he had for breakfast this morning. It's what did he reach for breakfast first this morning. And only Anya's mind reading ability lets her hear Damien say, "What did I drink first? Not eat, but drink." So she's like, "Milk." Correct.
Well,
Yeah,
the
because his boys know exactly what he did. He reached
Yeah.
for that glass of milk because Damien's a little short king and he's worried about not being tall enough.
yeah. And I mean, like, this is another one where it's like, this is such excellent subtle characterization because Anya uses her mind reading powers, but she also has to intuit what she doesn't get the answer. She has to intuit what the answer is. So it is, like, it's showing that like Anya understands Damien on that level. But also because Damien's friends knew the answer to that question when Damien didn't, also says the same thing about them. They understand him in a way that maybe Damien doesn't even really understand himself. It's such good characterization for like such little, like these little moments. The entire time, Lloyd is just like freaking out because it's like, I can't even cheat for Anya. I don't know the answer to these questions. Was my research inadequate? Should I be stalking Damien?
And then
I
finally,
should have integrated children into my informant network.
Ooh, Twilight! Don't start talking about child soldiers. That's your entire backstory. Like, oh. And then, of course, the final question is, who does Damien love the most? And it proves why none of these women are worthy of his love because they all guessed themselves. Which, just game theory, terrible answer to give. Just like,
Mhm. Until Anya, no mind reading needed, said, Damien loves his papa. I mean, I say no mind reading needed. She got that from mind reading in the past.
Mhm.
But also, genuine insight check. Like genuine success on the insight check.
Yeah, no, the reason she gives the answer right now is because she knows him.
And I love how Cheech Chung over here, the two goons, they're like, what a disaster. But it's fair and square. Anya Forger is the winner. She has to dance with Damien.
There is, well, I mean, they're like, oh no, we failed in our mission.
And
Yeah, they're
protect
still
the
back.
boss man from this peasant.
They're still backing up their boy. They're like, "Hey, boss man, you can back out of this. It's she probably cheated. Like, there's no way she could have known those answers. Like, you have an out if you don't want to do this." And Damien's like, No, I'll dance with her. It's fine. I'll tolerate it." Doki 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 doki.
It's so cute. And then we have Mr. Henderson and Becky's maid
Mm-hmm.
/ bodyguard dancing.
Martha.
But definitely not going to be any foreshadowing for something that's going to come up. It's fine. Don't pay attention to that because we have cute babies to watch. And they can't dance. They're babies. They have no idea what they're doing.
These poor things.
I love Damien
Anya tries really hard.
I love Damien going like, "Hey, get a hold of yourself, man. It's not like you two haven't held hands before. This is just like holding hands in a much more intimate way." Oh no. Oh god.
The panicked looks on both their faces, one panel after another, is so peak.
And Anya just going like, "Hey, my dad made me practice with him a lot. That's why I'm not constantly messing up." And Damien just going like, "Oh, well, I was taught by a dance instructor that my family hired." And there's a pause. It's just like, your family sounds nice. You get to spend so much time with them.
Yeah.
It's
And
like it's like this such a genuine moment between them.
Well, there's some genuine honesty that Damien just offered. And like the entire thing about frankly, the society they live in is everyone is guarded because you don't know who's going to betray you. Like that is yours entire thing about getting married is the very idea that she is single at her age is enough that you could be thrown into the secret like into the Gestapo and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
everyone is on guard from everyone because frankly everyone is trying to betray each other. Like there is not a lot of camaraderie here because I mean war
It's a
trauma.
culture it's a culture of paranoia.
Yeah.
It's a culture built on war trauma and Cold War era, spy
And
mentality, like McCarthyism, basically.
yeah, and then double down, they're in this school for the elite of the fact that they are being explicitly taught by their parents that you need every interaction you have with someone is getting value from them. All those girls who wanted to dance with Damien didn't care about him. They cared about what his family could do for their families and blah blah blah. And let's be honest, Anya doesn't she cares to a degree, but also she is mission motivated. But like there is a level of honesty that Damien, who has genuine affection for her that he's tamping down, he feels something genuinely and he is honest with her about like, hey, your family sounds really nice. And he backs off of that, but like Anya responds in an amazing moment
Fucking
of
love this page. It is the best page in all of Spy Family so far.
It's so good.
genuine of going like, how did you know about that? How did you know about my dog and everything? Did you read my mind or something? And there's just a level of he just responded with such genuine honesty, which is so fucking rare in this series. Like it is little moments where people are genuine and honest with each other that are just heartwarming. And it's
And
just Anya going
yeah,
like, I'll tell him the truth. I will respond in kind. Yes, I can read people's minds, and it's just a fucking cute little dip they're doing, and it's
yeah,
just
he's got her in the full ballroom dip, and she's like, "Yes, I can read people's minds." And like, yeah, from our perspective as outside manga viewers, that's like, "Whoa, she's doing the thing. Whoa, that's so crazy."
But it's the ease at which she says it.
Mhm. And it's no surprise that Damien hears that and goes, "Oh, you're making fun of me again. People can't actually read minds, you dummy." And then
Yeah,
they start
there's the
squabbling.
there's the return to status quo moment, but like
there
the
there is that split second that you're like, I think he believes her, but then he like shoots that down in his head that like that can't possibly be true.
no, that's crazy. Yeah, because it's like she says it so genuinely and so easily too.
Mhm,
You know, and I mean, like Matt, you took the words out of my mouth for like most of this,
mhm,
but like the big thing for me is like mentioning that like to some extent Anya has her own level of like she's doing this for the mission and whatnot. There's like two really important aspects with regards to that. The first is, yes, the only reason she sought him out in the first place was because of the mission, but I think there's something to be said of the fact that Anya is doing this for the sake of world peace. In her own little kid brain, she's saving the world.
mhm,
Like she's not doing it for herself. She's not doing it to enrich her family or anything. And it mirrors the element of Anya doesn't just want Operation Strix to succeed. She wants the family she has built to stay together.
mhm,
So it's like it mirrors that aspect of there's a there's like a there's like a deeper layer and more genuine, more selfless layer to it. And then the other thing that's worth noting is that it's like they have had so many interactions. They've been through a lot together, quite genuine. Like they went through a bus jacking together. Like let's be honest,
mhm.
these two
They
have had
they
more life
both thought
experience.
they were gonna die for a minute. Like Anya got over it because mind reading, but they both thought they were gonna die for a minute.
Yeah, and so it's like these two have had more life experiences together than most people have with, you know, lifelong, friends or romantic partners or whatever. So and it's like Damien's had moments like this before, but like it really does feel like, you know, that is a sea change where, like, it feels like this page is kind of the moment where uh it stops being like if Anya had to choose between Scion Boy like being okay and happy versus the mission, like before this point she would have chosen the mission, but after at this point I feel like she would, like she would go against Twilight, for Damien, And also, honestly, just the way that they fight with each other at this point also seems more like cute and you know,
It's got more squabbling first grader energy to it.
yeah, like it feels more like playfully intimate as opposed to just two little kids being mad at each other.
But that's sort of the fun thing uh about this entire scenario. Like there is a bit where it's like, what do you mean the kids are doing this weird shonen manga bullshit? What do the adults think of this? And it cuts to Henderson, who is standing there talking to one of the waiters and being just like,
Or no,
Master.
he's dancing with
This is before he's dancing with Martha.
oh,
The
Uh,
dancing had not begun yet.
Yeah.
ah.
One of the waiters is like, Master Henderson, are we going to do anything about this? I have no idea what these children are doing, but they truly believe in this, and that is elegant. Like, Henderson just understands these are kids doing kid things. There is a whimsy to the mind of a child, and he's not going to interrupt that.
I mean, it kind of speaks to something that's going to come up in the next mini arc of
Segment.
this, of like his genuine understanding of what a teacher needs to be. Let the kids be kids.
Mhm.
And why does our strict Master Henderson think such uh lenient thoughts? Well, you see, tragedy.
Nothing bad happened.
A lot of bad things happen, Jacob.
I know.
Really, for this manga, a surprising amount of bad things happened.
Well, okay, like here's the crazy thing about this whole next section. Lloyd's backstory, or I guess you could say Twilight's backstory,
Mhm.
his whole backstory was conveyed to us in one really striking panel that said everything, like it didn't have to go through every gory detail.
Mhm.
It said everything in a single truly striking panel. You want to have like 5 chapters of nothing but that?
Mhm.
Sure.
Well, it's just it. We just the whole next chunk is the backstory of Henderson and Martha.
Mhm.
We see the meet cute, and we also see the origin of elegant.
Also, how this is juxtaposed is Henderson speaking with the maid.
It's like we're all on uh between term breaks. Henderson is talking to the matron of the hall,
Mhm.
and Martha's talking to Becky.
Which, considering what happens with this story, is very inappropriate.
Well, the thing that's pretty clear, and it is confirmed at the end of the story, is that very specifically Martha is leaving out identifying details.
Oh, I mean like the 19-year-old woman getting shot in the face for desertion. Like that's in
Mm,
the story.
well, yeah, that's true. We're,
Yeah,
we're gonna say that was
because
just for the audience, and I don't fucking know,
And
man.
and then the friend I'd enlisted with ran away from combat and was shot by our commanding officer. We'd signed up to serve this country, not to be gunned down by our own commanders.
Oh,
let's see.
that's skipping ahead, but yeah, I had to do a triple take on that panel.
I
Show your
I
back to the despoiler, and you are admitting defeat before the God Emperor.
But yeah, we go back to happier times when
Mhm.
Henderson is 17. A freshman in the high school program because Japanese high school is three
Yeah,
years, and it's actually it starts like our junior year, and they do an extra year after senior. I think.
yeah. He's 17. He's a freshman in the high school track. Martha is brand new to the middle school track at 14. She was let into Eden by the merit of her incredible ballet skills. And this is one of the realest points in the manga. During the performance where Martha put on that big ballet show that got her that scholarship, Henderson was in the crowd, and at the end of the show, he was so overcome with emotion, he started clapping, applauding, and said, "How elegant!" And that was the fucking end of his life. Okay, that was the moment he died, because every other one of those fucking bitches in middle and high school looked at that and said, "Huh, elegant boy."
Not one other person clapped at that ballet recital.
Mr. Clapping Elegant Man. Oh, you're so proud of being a gentleman. Are you gonna tattle on us to the headmaster? And I'm like, damn, that is the most true to life thing this manga has done, other than all the PTSD.
I love my alternative interpretation that Henderson was a little too thirsty. And it was just, yeah, she's really, really, that girl's really cool, right? She's elegant, yeah.
Elegant.
Jesus, Henderson, calm down.
I mean, judging by this arc, it takes him like 10 chapters and a battlefield correspondence to finally realize what love is, but
Baby, don't hurt me.
But yes, they bond over vigilante justice against ne'er-do-wells.
Because Henderson is one of those pacifists in the vein of, I will never commit a violence myself because violence is in and of itself barbaric. And Martha is a pacifist in the vein of, well, I'd never want to commit violence, but I'll defend myself.
Mhm. We call those pacifists in name only, by the way.
Jake,
Something Gundam Wang. There, I said it. You don't have to stop me.
okay. It's really cute. The two of them have tea parties every day because, as an Imperial scholar, Henry has the privilege of getting a little bit of solo time in the garden, drinking some tea like he's straight out of Fire Emblem Three Houses. He's got unlimited attempts to try the social interaction with the cute girl.
And he manages to fumble every single time.
This is why Game Shark is not as much of a crutch as it should be.
Well, it's when he truly starts to get into like truly how have you fumbled this badly territory is when we get injected with Becky's aghast reaction, which is the perfect time for her to come up.
Yep.
I like
Because-
how his motivation for becoming a teacher is purely he tried to tattle on those thugs for
For smoking.
for smoking and besmirching the name of Eden Academy by like resorting to violence. And the teacher he tells just goes like, "Fuck, kid, what do you want me to do? That family over there makes half our munitions and we're in a war. Like, they can do whatever they want. Frankly, you should calm the fuck down, or maybe I'll give you a tinnitus bolt. Tinnitus bolt.
The bad thing.
Yeah, the bad thing.
Yeah, there is a neat arc of like Henry initially seeks out education for not the wrong reason, but for a rather like childish reaction to something. You know, like the idea that if I just talk to them correctly, none of the violence will like, you know, like I can fix the violence of the world. Which is just terribly, terribly naive.
Yeah. But he holds on to that really, really, really hard, so that when Martha says, I've signed up for the women's auxiliary in the military, he freaks the hell out.
That's after.
Yeah, they
that is after the graduation. Yeah.
Yeah, he
And
graduates, and then there's
he graduates and he gets fast tracked on his college studies to be a teacher, and actually ends up coming back before Martha graduates.
they sure do go out of their way to make this 3-year age gap as weird as possible. Um,
They really frickin' do. Like, holy shit.
because
It
like
didn't have to be weird. 3 years is not a long time, but
it was
He
a high
he
schooler dating, or not dating, explicitly not dating. So like nothing even on the table here, but like uh building a relationship with a underclassman.
Mhm.
because I mean, fun fact, everybody, the reason why age gaps can be a problem is because it's the power dynamic that can be messed up by that, and an imbalanced power dynamic in a relationship is not a deal breaker, but certainly a big red flag to consider. And it's one of those ones where it's like this entire thing. It's like it swerves towards a red flag just so they can swerve away from the red flag. You
Yeah,
didn't
Jacob.
have to make it weird in the first place.
Jacob, would one of those power imbalances be, I don't know, if
Teacher and
you got
student.
if you got fast tracked through college to the weirdest fucking thing, to graduate 6 months early so that you can become a teacher for 6 months before the graduation.
It's like
Yeah.
like it's like they swerve towards the red flags so that they could swerve away from the red flags at the last minute. They could have just not had the red flags. They could have just done that.
I mean,
Oh, that'd be too easy.
the other weird thing is like just the situation of having a what is it? He's 19, so 21.
He's 20. Yeah, he's 21 and a half at this point.
To have a 21-year-old teacher teaching at the school he just graduated from is a little weird because he would know
And
a lot of people still at that school. Like,
uh-huh. And having romantic air quotes interest in a 19-year-old student. Like, at least they're both above 18, but come on.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, again,
th-
it's like it's swerving towards red flags so that they can swerve away from red flags to assure us that they're not hitting red flags. Like,
look, this relationship is driving down a PA highway just avoiding potholes.
I mean, it really is.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, fairly, he's explicitly not even her teacher, but he is a teacher. It's
he's a
weird.
teach. Yeah, no, it's weird.
She's
She's
hot for teacher,
19
not
is the other thing. It's like they went down a checklist of how close to a red flag can we get, but not be one.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, we've reached the bottom of that checklist. Time for every I almost confessed, but then a thing happened.
because it's at the graduation dance when Martha was going to confess her feelings, and then of course the air raid siren goes off.
Mm,
I do like that the optics of what she does at the dance is she comes in because the ballet studio she was going to go to was bombed by the enemy, so her
That
dream
dream
of
is
joining
literally dead.
so she joins the female auxiliary force, or the women's auxiliary force. I don't know why I specified that in such a way. um uh so she comes in full uniform, which I think from her perspective is like, see, I am moving on from this school. I'm no longer a student of yours. I want to our relationship is changing. I have learned that you can't just expect things to be the same forever. So I'm going to like lay my heart bare, and like we can see how this relationship changes moving forward. And unfortunately, the relationship changes because war was declared. And by war was declared, I mean someone attacked. Like
War were declared.
war were declared.
It's like I have gone and I've made this statement with being in my military uniform, and you and I are going to dance, and you're kind of a bad dancer, but it's okay. We're both dancing. This is a really high emotional moment, and I'm just going to say it, Henry. I love bombs.
Well, no,
I also,
the worst part is it's the
It's not
air
even
raid tracks
bombs. It's
them. Yeah.
yeah.
it's a ever-present reminder of war.
Yep.
It's a metaphor that really happened to these people.
Yeah. I think the one that really kicked me in the nuts was Martha's about to be like deployed.
Mhm.
So she sends a letter to Henry being like, "Oh, Henry, my dear, I'm about to go to war, but I will still be at insert train station here at insert hour on insert day.
Here is my letter full of troop movements. Like, I don't.
Won't won't you please come and say goodbye to me?" As and cut to her CO going, "Holy shit, this doesn't she know anything about security? Redact everything."
And honestly, I kind of love that because it's like okay, they're gonna do like this is a thing that breaks up the couple or whatever, like because like that's a really common cliche in romances. But I do like the fact that both of them realized what happened basically immediately, and neither of them have any hard feelings about it. Like
Like
I
they're both
appreciate that
upset.
that isn't
Like they're
used
both
as a
upset, but
drama
they're not
piece.
like they're both upset, but they're not holding grudges.
She's heartbroken, but there's like a part of her that's like, shit, this was my fault. I,
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
because she gets yelled at by her CO, she knows that he didn't like choose to stand her up. It was that her letter was redacted, and when he gets her next letter, he's like, "Oh, good, it wasn't horribly redacted this time. I could actually read it proper."
also, because effectively, she's a teenager, and she was like, "Can I have this big romantic movie gesture?" And it's just like, practically no. Like, that's so incredibly unsafe. You couldn't possibly have this. Like,
Do you really want the enemy to intercept our movements? I know we're still in Berlin. That's not good enough.
hey, it's generally not a good idea to tell enemy aircraft which trains are full of people.
Yeah. But they start a correspondence where they are sending they're sending security wise very cold letters to each other.
But it
Also,
kind of replaces their friendly tea parties that they used to have.
Mhm.
yeah. Also, Donovan Desmond is here.
And
Oh,
he is already exactly who he's going to be.
He's a wide-eyed youth.
he's a really wide-eyed youth.
They just look wider because they don't have the bags of what I assume is like anti-psychic KGB training. Under, like,
Seriously, because the way we're introduced to him is well, for one, Henry gets word that the women's auxiliary is being sent to the front lines because we're just that short of soldiers. And then cut to Donovan Desmond at the debate club arguing in favor of war as an inevitability, saying that human beings are liars. And since humans will lie, that means they will say anything. And since you can't trust anything any other person is saying, violence is always an inevitability.
Yeah, honestly, the really crazy thing is the exact sequence of events is Henry overhears some of the like he sees at a social event, he sees a bunch of like high-end military officials, and they're basically talking about we need to call a general retreat, but we don't have enough people for a rearguard action. So they want to throw the women's auxiliary basically as bait to get killed in the stead of better trained fighting men.
mhm.
Uh, and he hears this and it's like, that's fucking insane. It's a good thing my country would never do that. 3 pages later, he opens the newspaper to find that they sent the women's auxiliaries to the
Yeah.
front.
What do you mean my girlfriend's unit is directly in the line of danger?
Cut to Mr. Henderson in an Agni Kai with the Fire Lord.
I mean,
Uh,
basically. I mean, that almost literally happens later.
yeah, because after the women's auxiliary unit is sent to the front line, there's another letter from Martha where she's like, My God, Henry, war is hell. War is hell. This is so stupid. Why are we fighting like this? People are dying. There's no reason for it. I want to go home. I want to go home so much. I miss you.
I think part of it is like Spy Family, as we established last chapter, is a lot of people lying and the comedy from their lies overlapping and having to be covered up.
Mhm.
And these chapters are just brutal honesty. Like,
Yeah, I mean, this is a fairly uncensored, fairly honest depiction of how much, institutional state versus state violence sucks.
this
Mhm.
letter that she is sending right now is, I made a mistake. I thought what I was doing was just and noble. This is just violence. I'm sorry. I want to go home. I want to be with you. Like,
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ, man.
And he pens a letter back to her, and under the surface, it's very composed and gentlemanly, like it always is. But the panels of his scribbling pen with just repeated over and over and over, come back, 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 come back. It it's a punch in the gut.
Yeah, it is. It is brutal and hard to read in the best way.
Mhm. Especially because that page ends with a panel of him going to the post office, sending off that letter to the front line. Oh, thank you, Mr. Postman. I am in your debt. Oh, it's nothing, son. And then on the radio, in today's news, our glorious forces are retreating, and are all wishing the best hopes upon the families of the Women's Auxiliary Special Combat Unit who gave their lives to allow our boys to come home. And Henderson is broken by the fact that because the radio announcement makes no bones about it. The Women's Special Combat Squad,
Completely routed.
as far as the
And
military is concerned, not a single survivor.
the literal next page is the sort of inevitable of there's somebody from the military speaking to the students and is like, talking up the they sacrifice themselves for the country, and this is when we have Henderson uh talking back to the Fire Lord.
We have Henderson crashing out.
I mean, quite. I've rereading this. I'm realizing how good of a juxtaposition that is because, like, he even gets bashed so hard in the eye that he needs corrective lenses to see
Which is
out of
why
it.
he has his monocle. Yes,
Yeah.
it is literally Zuko disagrees with the Fire Lord. The monocle is the scar.
Oh, and then we get we get Desmond again, who shows up. Just like, hey, you're a fool, and I believe if someone lets you down once, they are worthless to you, and you should never trust them again because they have proven themselves to be untrustworthy. But I do like your lectures, so I guess I'll make an exception. I like.
Well, my young ward, that's pretty fucked up, and I'm sure it's going to cause a lot of family trauma in your future. But
Oh, also, we skipped over the entire point part is his dad shows up to him and is just like, "Hey, that outburst was insane, and if you're gonna have this anti-government politics, you're there. No, you're
They're
not
going
gonna
to
be
kill
allowed
you.
to teach children. Like that's no ifs, ands, or buts. That is gonna be off the table." And he's just like, "Okay, I retract my statement." Like
do
because
I stubbornly hold to my principles, or do I hold to the ideal of the principle and say that things will be better eventually through education?
yeah, there is, do I stick to my principles on this one thing or and forego any influence I would have over the future, the next generation? And like
Hmm.
his entire thing is like the children are the future, and to nurture that is more so than just his individual pride here. But there's a
Hmm.
part of them that kind of bites his tongue, is like, did I make the right decision with that? Like, or
Yeah,
was I just a coward?
and
Yep.
like this is so subtle and so layered because on the one hand it shows why and how people lie, because he's at this point he is putting up the kind of wall that we mentioned in the previous chapter that Anya just completely broke down for herself when talking to Damien, like that moment of like genuinely beautiful honesty. This shows, you know, how people come to like be in the mindset of I have to like assess the value of this other person and how much truth I can use and things like that. Like it shows the context in which people get into that mindset.
The most tragic part of this chapter is, Henderson going through essentially getting the crap beat out of him, being forced to capitulate his ideals to this is the state of the world right now. I have to live in the world as it is. We've only got so many suitors left who will come for me. As a member of a fading noble house, I guess I'll just go ahead and get married. And such a gut punch of a final page. It's Henderson getting married, wedding bells ringing.
And
Maybe
Martha
this is
waking up
really
because we know she lived.
Yeah, Martha waking up in a cottage in the middle of nowhere.
There's the element of how people like get into the mindset of lying in the way that is like the main central conflict of the story. But there's also like the idea of, is he giving up his ideals and being a coward? Or is he biting his tongue, swallowing his pride so that he can make a proper change in the future, which is a direct parallel to the Red Circus arc, because it's pretty unbelievably indefensible to hold children hostage with the genuine intention of, if your demands are not met, you will actually kill children. It is basically impossible to ever justify that. You kind of can't be a good guy in that circumstance. But as we noted during that arc of the story, it worked. And it was the only thing that did. So what side of this is Henderson on in biting his tongue and not speaking out against what he knows is wrong? Is he committing evil for the greater good, or is he being silenced because doing like doing the hard thing, even if it gets results, wouldn't, like is unconscionable?
Well, Jacob, moral purity is a privilege of the wealthy.
Yeah. No, literally, moral
honestly-
purity is a privilege of the wealthy, and that is a thing that the manga says basically outright.
Well, honestly, I think the manga even says that it's not even a privilege of the wealthy, because the wealthy aren't really morally pure either. In a lot of cases, they're in positions
They
of
can
power
pretend
because they
they're being.
compromised themselves.
But see, here's the
So-
thing. They can pretend that they're pure.
They also have the choice sometimes to
Hmm.
do the morally pure thing. That's not always an option people are given.
Yeah.
And I love the last few chapters of our reading. We start on chapter 100 with Martha staring down the barrel of a tank as a shell flies towards her trench. Massive explosion. She wakes up in a literal like pick up bits of body parts of people she once knew. Whether this is immediately concurrent or something that is part of the flashback, it does not matter. We cut to some of the women's auxiliary special combat unit wanting to run away, quite frankly, and one of them getting drilled between the eyes by a commissar.
Eyes and heart.
And the other thing that
do not abandon your position. What are we supposed to do against a bunch of tanks? You're not supposed to do anything. You're supposed to provide bodies enough to keep those tanks occupied while our forces run.
the other kind of fun moment is that the only reason that Martha survives is because she happened to be in the shadow of an artillery piece.
By Black Bell Heavy
Black
Industries.
Bell Heavy Industries artillery piece.
They make those pieces. That's good quality that it survived a direct hit.
Uh-huh.
Saved her life. Maybe she's thankful for that, and that's why she chose her occupation.
Literally, probably.
They never say it outright, but that's pretty clearly the idea. And honestly, the rest of it is just a well written war story. Um,
Yep. She's limping through no man's land, not sure where she is or where her comrades are. A bunch of Westalia soldiers go, "Wow, a woman!" And so she jumps in a river, as what anyone would. Well, she also gets shot, but
yeah,
She's shot
it's a
into the river.
firefight.
Yeah.
She
and
Well,
gets
she
in a
wakes
firefight and ends up in a river, and then she wakes up to dog. That's
she
like
wakes
the
up in,
one not horrible thing in this section of the story.
she wakes up in a nice, quaint, rustic log cabin with a border collie at the foot of the bed.
I like that Westonia has photorealistic dogs, and Ustonia has anime face dogs.
Yes.
But look at how he is. I love. I want to pet
Baron
that dog.
Baron is a good boy. The very grumpy old woman is here to make sure that Martha doesn't die. She's not happy about it. She's not joyful, but she'll tend this girl back to life.
She's dealt with enough death already as it is.
Yep.
Hey, I need some clothes if I'm going to run my way back east. Take my daughter's clothes. Won't your daughter need them? She's already dead. Only a leg came home. Yeah, this is just extremely sobering.
Yeah, like this. Frankly, Martha's 2 chapters really almost feel out of place. And I say this as someone who really enjoyed Twilight's this is what children in war have to deal with. Like,
Well, I
Have
would
you
say
guys
less
read-
out of place and more like ripping the band-aid off, because like there is a level of, it's like goofy, silly, but like this is the undercurrent of everything. Like this has always been there. And like most of the characters actually, like, why does Yor do what she does?
so
Because
that's kind of the thing though, is Yor gets a pass for the like violent assassination she does because they're always portrayed very comedically. Like, remember when she got shot in the ass and couldn't sit down at dinner
Yeah.
when
I
she
mean
killed a
more
person?
I mean more the reason why she does it in the first place,
Mm.
because her backstory is this too. Like, so it's like, yes, some of the assassinations are portrayed comedically because ultimately this is a Shonen Jump series and it needs to be fun. But like, I mean, like the motivations of the characters. Why does Twilight do what he does? Why does Yor do what she does? Why do the antagonists do what they do? Why are the Desmonds the way they are? Because they're all reacting to this.
They are all suffering from war trauma.
This is one character's personal experience, but they've all been through some version of this.
Yeah. You guys ever read Slaughterhouse-5?
Yes.
Yeah. The segment where Martha's coming home on the train really reminded me of that, because on the right, you know, she's she's cut her hair and lowered her voice and wearing men's clothes so that she's not mistaken for a girl while she's weaseling her way through Estonia to the front line. And right as she's collapsed from exhaustion and about to get shot by Westalia forces, one of the officers says, "Hey, the war's over. Don't kill him." And they all drive off. She finds her way onto a train. And yeah, this train ride home, this is the thing that felt the most Slaughterhouse-5 to me, because while she's on the train riding home with all the other beaten and broken and traumatized members of the military, there's a happy-go-lucky fella named Paul who's handing out water rations to everybody else, making sure they all get home. And hey, I'm from Berlin. Are you from Berlin? Yeah, I'm also from Berlin. Wow, that's great. We're both heading home to the same place. Why don't you and I get married? No, my heart belongs to another. And on the page where they pull in to Berlin station, finally home after all those weeks, Martha goes to wake up Paul. He's been dead for hours, been cold since last night.
He didn't have the strength to
And
make it through the
he looks so vibrant and energetic in every panel he's in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Martha looks beaten down. She looks broken and tired and worn by the world. Paul looks so vibrant.
Like, the thing is his
Mhm.
expression is so full of life, but you can see how gaunt he is. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those ones where there's, like, the signs are there, you know?
Mhm. And it's like he's the one that doesn't make it while she does. That's another layer of survivor's guilt and grief piled on top of her.
Yeah, and, like, the other thing is, one of the things that makes this entire section of the story so aggressively brutal, because I mean, like, a lot of the stuff that makes this, like, emotionally difficult and, squirm in your seat painful, um, is the amount of dramatic irony through this entire thing. Like,
Mm,
constantly, like, there, because it's like, we know as the audience that Martha lives because this is a flashback, and Martha is one of the characters telling the story.
Mhm.
So Henderson is like told she's dead and moves on. We know she's not dead. And then
Mhm.
the other really big moment of this is when Paul is like, hey, we should get married when we get back. And she says no, she doesn't know that Henderson is already married.
Mhm.
And I can totally, like, it doesn't say this outright, but I could 100% imagine in her head thinking maybe if I had said yes, it would have given him the strength to get home, which any rational person would tell you probably not. That probably
that
wouldn't have changed anything. But the
Mhm.
what if is going to live in her head forever because she didn't know that the
Yep.
person she was waiting for was already forever out of her reach.
Oh god, the scene where she finds Henderson's address and like goes to reconnect with him and in the street finds him and has that tearful reuniting with him only for his wife to go, "Hey, that's the other thing.
Henry,
Is like they could have played
they
up the
could have
wife a
made the wife
completely
evil.
but she's not. She's genuinely like, "Hey, this woman who has like a self-done like s- like shears in a barn haircut is crying deeply into you. Is everything okay?
It,
Are you being accosted? Like, what's going on?" It's just like, "Oh, this is my former student. She just returned from the war."
oh, that's wonderful. Uh, oh, sorry. I'm uh it's like, sorry, my name is Lucia. I'm Henry's wife. And the multiple panels, multiple pages of Martha's world shattering. It's like
Mhm,
she fought through things that would kill a man 10 times over to get back to Henry,
mhm,
only to find out that he was already married. Frankly, it's a miracle that she survived that and
mhm.
then survived another war.
Well, it was all she knew at that point. Like, it was.
I
What else
I
was she
do
going to do with herself?
I'm like
Yeah.
the.
I do appreciate the tension cutter of going from her lost in a starry void of shattered dreams to Becky full on
I was
ugly
gonna say,
crying, snot running down her face, going, no!
Which, I'm kind of on team. Maybe this story wasn't something you should have told to a 6-year-old, but I,
Yeah.
well, okay. I think what's important to remember is this is Becky, and what she's reacting to is the I didn't get to be with the one I love.
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
think that the version that Martha told was nearly as gory as the version that we, the audience, got.
I
I
mean,
think I think Becky got a very sanitized version, and she's overreacting to one part of it.
counterpoint, Becky's mom does let her watch those sultry romance, like trash TV drama.
Which is why
Yeah,
she's reacting this badly to the he was already married twist.
she gets to watch telenovelas. She's up there with Shadow being like, I just love Latina's Sonic.
I think the most tragic part about this too, other than her fucking crying during her ballet recital that they give to her out of pity for like
That
your unit was destroyed.
Yeah, because we didn't mention it before, but like she'd been doing ballet all through like middle and high school. And she's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make a full career out of it. There is this one ballet company that I really, really admire. And the head of it, she's so cool. She's my idol. She's the reason I do this. This is part of the reason why I love ballet so much. And the ballet house was destroyed in a bombing raid by those Wistelia bastards.
Yeah, we mentioned the ballet house getting destroyed, but the other knife twisty moment is that the head of
The
the ballet
diva that
house
she loved
who
died.
had a personal connection to Martha and was the reason why Martha was pursuing it in the first place, also died horribly just to make it as brutal as humanly possible.
Mhm. And
Which
like
is
as
why she ended up in the military and why all this shit happened.
and like as a propaganda thing, they put on a recital for her where people come because she's like the sole survivor of the women's auxiliary force. And she even mentions like the injuries she got in the war means she could never professionally do ballet. Like that's just not possible to her anymore. Like
Mhm.
she's got injuries that prevent that. And that's fine. She got her dream and she's just crying throughout it because Henderson and his wife are in the audience clapping along. And just the truly like tragic thing about this is like he genuinely loves his wife. Like it's not like he settled for her. Well,
He settled for
a
her, but he
definition
didn't
of
love
that
her.
is true, but
He
Like
definitionally he's settled for her, but
he does genuinely love his wife.
he's a loving and faithful husband. And Martha takes solace in knowing that she loved a loyal and loving man. And oh God, it hurts so much.
Meanwhile,
oh,
Becky's just like, "Yo, you should have messed that up and got yo man." She's like, "We don't. Home wrecking is bad."
Everything is bad. Freaking Jake, you remember the second ending to Witch from Mercury? Red birthmark. God, why does it have to hurt?
Yeah, and I mean, like, honestly, I kind of love the ending of this because, it's like she mentions that like she has this like this ballet recital, and that it showed her that she has a life to live because like her biggest fan and the one who gave her the biggest applause was Lucia Henderson's wife. You know, and then she also mentions that like that happens, and then she's in the second war after that.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Like, the order of events is really important.
She went
And like
through both great wars. Like, oh my God.
and like like she's talking about this and she mentions like it's like I've had my entire life, and I mentioned the dramatic irony, mentioning that she has incomplete information. Like she doesn't speak with authority on anything unless she knows it, like has experienced it, knows it to be true. And the only thing you can really do when something like that happens to you is move on with your life. And we see the two of them visit graveyard, and we don't see who specifically grave it, as it could be a myriad of characters because the series is full of death.
Mhm.
But
It could be Henderson's wife. It could be the members of Martha's unit. It could be uncountable people outside of that.
The fact that it's a specific day that they're both there and they've both been meeting up for 15 years does narrow it down a little. I think
Mhm.
it's strongly implied to be Henderson's wife, but they don't say anything, so
yeah,
leave
It's
it for
strongly
it could
implied to
also
be
be
Henderson.
parents. It could be a lot of the point is it doesn't matter who it is,
It's strongly
because
implied to be Henderson's wife and that these two have been having an affair for a long time.
It's not an affair if your partner is dead. It's to death
well,
do you part for a reason.
I don't get that vibe from this scene because they seem like they enjoy each other's company. It feels platonic to me.
I
And like there is a level of neither of them got what they wanted, but what they did get and what they have made in the wake of everything is something that they appreciate. You don't get your perfect ending. You have to make the most of what you have, and these two understand that well enough to have come to a really beautiful place at the end. Like
Mhm.
they're
See,
friends. They wanted to be more, but this is good enough. and you don't get a
See,
do-over.
see, that's I agree with you, but that's why I think it's romantic. I think it's a Twilight years romance.
I think, yeah, I don't get fully romantic vibes off this purely because, like Jacob said, and like the running theme of this arc is kind of things don't stay the same forever. They change even if you don't want them to. And like the idea that
Mhm.
they could go back and let things be as they are forever is not, which is why it kind of bookends with them going to have tea because they're allowing to go back to the beginning, but they're both very different people than when they had that tea. So it's not even what they were when they were kids. They are both
Mhm.
changed people. Things are different now.
It's more better now.
It's more bitter now.
God, why is our funny, happy, fun time slice of life manga this goddamn dreary? That brings us to the end of our reading. Holy shit.
I'm gonna say that the vista that graveyard's on is kind of insane that you would use that for a
Mhm.
grave.
Yeah.
Like you get to see the entirety of Berlin from that hill. Like
Yeah. So, favorite character, favorite arc. If you'd asked me a couple of days ago, I would have concurred with Sam who was talking with some pals in a Discord server about Spy Family and say that Anya's my favorite character because while I do love the straight, I love the straight man in comedy manga. Anya is existing in her own universe as the straight man. Everything makes perfect, rational, logical sense to her. And so her unhinged reactions is her acting as logically and in adherence to reality as she can. And that's all still true. Martha's a badass. Martha's so cool. And I love me a bit of tragedy. So yeah, I think Martha's my favorite character. And yeah, this latest war flashback arc is my favorite arc. Oh, go read Slaughterhouse 5 if you haven't, listeners. Matt, favorite character, favorite arc.
uh favorite arc is definitely the school dance. I loved
A good
that.
choice. A very
Uh,
good choice.
and I think I might actually go favorite character is Damien in this. I loved him in that. I loved the like Anya like putting her heart on her sleeves and him responding with like genuine emotion in kind. The bit with like his older brother not giving him the answers he wanted and like frankly like being a weird mirror into the future of like where this
Mm.
path is going to take Damien is like no son, get off the ride. uh
Yeah, we didn't even mention like Damien is asking about their father, and when his older brother, they all start with D, I don't remember. Um he says, "I don't know, father doesn't have time for me," and Damien is just like, "I thought they were close. Everyone said they were close. Father was really was constantly at his side during his like earlier education."
mhm. Something changed.
Suddenly, Demetrius is no longer getting attention from father and has become a automaton. Ugh. And Jacob.
Uh well, I guess because I guess I'm gonna say Anya. Honestly, it's between Anya and Martha, but there is a level of Anya shows so much potential, and it it feels like to a large degree Anya is, when Spy Family decides to start heading towards its conclusion and things actually happening. Um, Anya is kind of the key to averting the tragedy that made Martha who she is. Um, and it's like, honestly, like, I think that there are some strong parallels character wise between the strength that there are parallels and contrasts between these strengths and and the ways in which the two of them like react to different if Martha was more like Anya in the sense of just saying what she thought, her entire life trajectory would have been different, you know? And we still yet we still see a lot of similarities between, uh for all of her little kid shenanigans, Anya is noble, and when she's not, succumbing to her id like the 4-year-old that she is, there's a there's a kind of like nobility that both of them have, that they just, want what's good for everybody. Um and just I'm not gonna lie, the most striking panel to me, even with all of the crazy war flashback stuff, um, was that moment where Anya just no filter, pure truth. Like that felt. Unfortunately, we had to reset the status quo, and I don't think anything's going to come of this, which is kind of my one problem. But that felt like a sea change. That felt like a incredibly important moment, um, where she just tells Damien a incredibly valuable and dangerous truth about herself. Because like Anya knows her psychic powers put a target on her. Like for all of her, little kid not understanding this, one thing that we know she knows full well is how dangerous it is to tell people that. She's not told Lloyd. She's not
Yeah,
told
she's
Twilight.
not. She's not even told her papa, but she told Damien.
Um, and that was just the like, honestly, in a weird way, again, because I think part of the reason for this is that the entire like like flashback sequence is the zeroth layer, and it's always kind of been there, and just like showing it in full force is really powerful and impactful, but it's not anything we didn't know about the story. The Anya moment feels bigger to me. That said, though, I think just because it is so well done, and it is it's the kind of thing where it is brutal, it grips you, it doesn't let you look away of just how bad it is. I do think that the war flashback arc probably is my favorite arc. Um like, obviously the dance is great, but something about that, it's so well executed, and it's so brutally honest. You know,
Mm.
some of yours assassinations are comedy bits. She got shot in the ass, like, but like this is just okay. Comedy filter off. This is real, and it's like you've got the one truly outstanding moment from the dance versus something that's not surprising, but something that's really consistent. I mean, to some extent, I think just a really good example of the dramatic irony of knowing Martha was alive. It's, it's not surprising. It's very predictable, and that makes it more painful in the way that it intends. There's something to be said of that.
Yeah. And with that heavy-hearted sentiment, would you continue reading? Yes. This like balance of extreme, just the craziest shit that happens in this manga. Stuff just happens. We didn't mention that during the contest to win Damien's hand in a dance, they had to inchworm in like they had to inchworm in freaking sleeping bags.
Yeah, that just
And
happened.
Yep.
it's a thing that happened. And there was a whole panel where Henderson saw what the kids were doing, got asked by another member of the staff, like, what are those kids doing? And he said, I don't know, but they're being they're being self-directed, and it's elegant. Like, this manga just does shit, and I love that so much. And then occasionally it's like, hey, in the background of us doing all this like random dumb shit, trauma.
Mhm.
more flashbacks. And I'm like, you know what, manga? You're right. I love that. So yeah, I'd continue reading. How about you, Matt?
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed this reading. It's light, it's fun, and then it's suddenly not, um,
Seriously.
which is nice. If you had asked me after the old man chapters, I might have told you a different answer. But the latter half of our reading really did back me up on that. Um, but yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I liked the fact that they said it's almost been a year, and we're only just recently cracked 100 episodes, or we only recently cracked 100 chapters. Um, which is nice. It time is progressing. I want to see how far they let that happen, because I did kind of just skip over the fact winter break happened. Um,
Yeah. We didn't even see that movie.
does Code White take place in winter break?
Why else is it called Code White?
Well, it's because wait, no. She's gotten the whole point of that plot is they need to go to the Hokkaido um adjacent place so that she can try a cake there so she can use it for her cooking class. So that takes place during the school year.
I've not
Your
seen Code White. I don't know what I'm talking
oh,
about.
your canonically fights a cyborg Nazi in a blimp.
You know what?
Extremely fucking based. Next time on No Read November.
It's not live action.
Well,
But
when has something not being the thing that our podcast is supposed to be about stopped us from indulging in it?
we haven't done a manhwa in a while, so
Hey, solo leveling killed any joy I had in reading.
Kill 6 Billion Demons is almost ending.
It's not a manhwa.
Exactly, it's a webcomic.
Ooh.
Anyway, thank you everybody once again for tuning. Oh, Jake, would you continue reading?
Honestly, this might be a bit of a surprise. Yes, asterisk. I think reading it for the podcast is probably a better way for me to read it than for. Yeah, I mentioned if I read this weekly, I would grow to dislike it, and that's a disservice to it. My big problem is I know they're never going to have any kind of actual. I remember very distinctly there was and I quickly identified them as AI slop channels, but there were a couple of cases where it's like, here's the new panel from the SpyX family. It's like I'm at my lunch break at work. I'm scrolling through YouTube Shorts, and it's like,
As we all do.
Here's the new SpyX family chapter that changes everything. Someone actually said the truth, and the plot is going to happen. I'm like, yeah, this isn't real. And then between the AI voice and it circling around the fact that no, this is just the normal shenanigans they get up to, I'm like, okay, Spy Family's not going to ever do anything at all until the series is ending. And I'm not going to lie, there is a part of me that's a teensy bit annoyed by that, because this is something that kind of sort of like the era of manga that we're in the like post Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach era, where you can have a story like Spy X Family have like big macro arcs where eventually, like, I don't think it's unreasonable to have a genuine sea change where the Forger family learns who each other is, and then the story keeps going, but like, perhaps with a different antagonist. You could have them globe trotting or something, and it's like, I know that that's not going to happen. The way it's going to work is that it's going to stay exactly the same until the series has reached a conclusion, perhaps sales numbers dipping, or maybe the author is just like, okay, this is the part where I've said everything I want to, we're going to end it now. And then there's going to be a big end of Spy Family arc where the stuff gets all revealed in the space of 20-30 chapters, and then that'll be the end of it. And that's
At some point, the author is going to run out of $1,000 chairs for characters to sit in on covers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. That's not wrong. It's also not what I'm particularly into. So happy to read more Spy Family for the podcast. If I hear that the series has ended, I will definitely binge it at that point because then I will know something will happen by the end of my reading.
Mhm.
um, so, like, yeah, definitely I'll continue reading, but I wouldn't continue reading it like weekly.
Ah, yes, thank you everybody once again for tuning in to the Over Manga Cast. As always, you can find us on all your social medias where we are at Over Manga Cast.
You can also find us on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. We have overmangacast.com where you can also comment. We have a comment section there. You can give us recommendations on different series to read. You can, I don't know where I'm going with that.
We also appreciate reviews in any and all forms. Go ahead, reach out to us. We love hearing from you. Overmongcast at Gmail, overmongcast.com. Nice little comment section thing. If you're listening on YouTube, comment down there. We'll see it at some point, I'm sure. Actually, speaking of recommendations from listeners like you, hey, Sam, what are we reading next time?
Next time, we're reading Drama Queen, chapters 1 through 22. If you're keeping up with the show, be sure to read that, and we'll see you all in 2 Thursdays. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, so guys, it's not that drama queen, and it's not that drama queen. I'm aware multiple series are called this.
Is it that drama queen?
No, it's not that drama. Definitely not that drama queen.
Okay. I was a
All
little
right,
confused there.
All right, Control A on my folder of the Real Housewives series and send to recycle bin.
Well, Sam, what are you going to do after you're done reading Drama Queen?
Watch
Fair
the Real
point.
Housewives.
Exactly. Why are you recycling it then? You need it right there on digital.
Shit, you're right.